Welcome back to a brand new video. So in this video I will be telling you guys a design framework. So let's get started with it. So we will be using TL Draw. It's an application where you can sketch it out your ideas and stuff. So we'll be opening that. So today we'll be understanding a design framework that I use in current company and throughout my freelance career, throughout these 3 years, what I used, how things look like when you're working with different types of companies. Some of them are startup, some of them are startup plus agencies, and some of them are enterprise level. So first we'll understand about startups. So startups are of two types. One are just 1 to 2 years, and some of startups are range from 5 to 10 years. So both of them have different conditions of design that they require, and I'm just talking about product based startups, not marketing or service type, but I'm just talking about the product based startups. So if you come to 1 to 2 years of startup which are working and you're joining in, so what they will have is primarily you may be the only one designer in the team, and they may not have design system in place so that you can get started with what already they have. Like application may not be ready in general sense, app is yet to launch or in the beta stage. So these are some of the common scenarios when you're joining in a startup, and primarily only you will be a designer. You may not have any lead to help you in design, and app is yet to launch, it's in beta stage. So in this particular scenario, in this one, the design system will have a different process, different category. So here how it will work is, first there will be a CEO who will give you an idea like what is required to design, and from there in this scenario what you will be doing is you will be the only person. So you will be in touch with the higher people, you will be in touch with the stakeholders directly. So you take the task, and without any wireframing or without any proper process of design that generally is taught in the boot camps are not being applied here. So you will directly design in Figma and you will show it to the CEO. So first this particular loop continues. Once one thing is done, then only developer will come in the place. So what happens is, before telling this particular design to the CEO, you individually connect with the developer and tell them what you are being designing and whether it is applicable or not, like whether it is in the current stage. So 1 to 2 years means that they are just figuring out whether this particular product, whether this particular idea will be fit in the market, and they may not have the resources to hire top grade developers who can exactly replicate whatever you have designed in Figma to reality. So when you design something, when you design in Figma, in this particular stage, you will talk with the developer, and once that is confirmed, you go and talk about it to the CEO, and then it is finalized, and then it is shipped to the developer, and then developer will apply in the application. So this is general flow of how 1 to 2 years of startup works. So this is particular design framework that they follow. But when you come to 5 to 10 years of companies, here you will be having a team of 2 or 3, mostly 2 or 3 only. So in this, the work is kind of different. Here there may be a design system in place or may not. But if there is no design system, then in the team of 2 to 3, one designer will be assigned to create a design system. One will create design system, another two people will work on the product. Other 2 people will be working on the product. But here the scenario is little bit different. Here you will not be having connection with the stakeholders directly. There will be multiple people between you. Also here you need to understand that the product is live and customers are using it. So in this particular category, in the 5 to 10 years of lifespan of the startup, which is just figuring out, they have figured out the market fit. Now they need to figure out how to place the product into the customer hand so that they can get profitable. So here what happens, there will be a customer. He will be having a request for a feature. This request will come from CSM, the customer management support team. So they will take the request, they will tell the product manager will be ideating it. So in this particular stage, as a designer, you will get a time to research on how should be the layout. So ideate phase, the ideate and validation will be done by the product manager. Your task, you will come after this. So in this category, in this way, once you got it, your task will be designing the layout, understanding the user flow, and mostly in the end you will be doing the prototype also. So once that prototype is ready, you will send it to the PM, and once PM approves it, that will go to CSM, and CSM will show it to the customers, and once they validate it, yeah, this particular feature is right, then it will be taken up. So taken up and sized. So what does this mean? So taken up and sized means, now here the product manager or the lead product manager, they will estimate the real application, like whatever is designed, they will estimate. Time, cost and resources will be decided by product manager, and then they will assign the person who have taken the responsibility, this product manager. So this guy will again tell the designer. In this way, what happens, the designer need to do the other stuff. That is, now what he will be doing is, he will be writing the design document. What this design document will be having, this will be having style guide. If we don't have a design system, then you will require to give a style guide to the developer. Sizes, colors, typography, interaction mainly. When you are talking about the design document, you generally forgot about how it should be interacting with the component. What will be the hover state, hover, on click. So all of this data, all of this thing will be in the design document. Now what happens is, you share it with the developer. So now this will be shared with the developer. So developer will analyze it and come to a conclusion. Conclusion in sense, whether this particular interaction, whether this particular thing is already existed in the design library that they have created, they have coded. If it is not, then they will estimate this time. So next what happens is, this product manager contacts the developer and they come up with the time to implement. They will come to this thing. So once this is confirmed, time to implement, so they, now here the designer will work parallelly with the developer. So here the designer will require to understand how the code works. This is why people say that if you understand the code, then going into design, then understanding how particular design will be applied, it will be beneficial. That is the reason. If you have the knowledge, if you have computer science degree, not particularly computer science, but if you have the coding knowledge, becoming a designer is more better than getting into development, because you will be having creativity, plus you will be having the feasibility to understand how developer work. So now here you will be closely working with the developer, and then there will be a demo day. So once that particular development is done, there will be demo day, and once demo is done, it will be feature ready. And now from this point onwards, the marketing team will take it care of. So in this demo day, the stakeholder will be there. So this is what really happens in a startup of company or startup which is having a span of 5 to 10 years. Their product is live, they're working out, they're getting customers. Now the thing is that they need to retain that customer, and retaining and understanding their flow is what your job is. So when you're joining this particular size of company, you will be having feasibility to understand how customer behave. So we'll be having behavior data and analysis you can do. But if you are in this particular 1 to 2 years of company, here you will learn and experiment. In this scenario, there will be no feasibility of doing experiment with your design. You can't play around with gradients. You can't play around with 3D elements much more, because here there will be a time limit, there will be priorities, there will be a proper structure. So in this scenario, in this particular scenario, you will not be having the feasibility to experiment and feasibility to learn. But you will definitely get a chance to talk with your customer. You will get a chance to understand what the real user flow is, and you can figure out the next step. You can figure out the next design iteration that you can do. So this is what happens in the startup. The same applies if the startup is not a startup, it's a corporate. If it comes to corporate, in this particular case, there will be larger team. There might be not team of 2 to 3, but maybe size of 15 to 50. You can consider maybe WhatsApp as an application. So product is live, and you have the amount also. The money is also there. In this particular case, in the corporate, only if you are at the top level, you will get a chance to do experiment. So mostly all of this stuff which is here, all of this stuff will be internal for you. Like you will be working, just write it with the thing, internal application. So most of the stuff that I have mentioned in here will happen for you in the internal. So this internal application will may or may not lead to the public eye. They may not see the daylight, but the structure will remain same. So this is an overall structure of how design works in different type of companies that I have experience with. And this is what the framework look like. So if I want to summarize all of this thing, if the startup is 1 to 2 years old, primarily you will be the only designer. There will be no design system. App may have not launched or is in the beta stage. In this particular stage, you will be working closely with the stakeholders, and you will be given task. You have to design it in Figma, and there will be a lot of iterations. Once it is done, then it will be given to the developer. Developer will also share their perspective, whether it is possible or not possible at their current stage. If it is possible, then we will launch it. So this works in the 1 to 2 years old of startup. If the startup is 5 to 10 years old, then you will be having a lot of data. You will be having who are your customers are, what are the user persona, they may have the design system. If they don't have design system, then the same thing works. You need to talk with the developer and again figure out like whether this particular thing is possible or not, but it will be there. So this is the structure if the startup is 5 to 10 years old. And if it is corporate, then you have a lot of people, and each individual will be divided into team of 3 or 4, and they will be working on internal applications. And if only that internal application is major thing that can bring revenue, they will be launching it to the public. And that internal application will also have this particular same flow. You will be having customer requests, you will be designing, you will be talking with product manager will be ideate and validate, and then it will be going into developer, and then there will be estimations, and then the product will see the daylight. So this is an overall structure of how particular design as a framework will work. And in additional, it's very simple. The process is very easy to understand if we make it into 3 words, that is ideate, create an MVP, then scale it. So all of these things works in this manner. So this is more of kind of theoretical, but that's what, if you know it, you will have a upper hand and understanding like what happens in the real world. So I hope you have learned something from this video. And if you like this kind of video, if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comment section or through my email or through Twitter. I will see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye. Have a great day.